Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor and people's supervisor. No one, and I repeat, no one can run circles around me when it comes to public service.
In a shocking new twist, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is reportedly facing yet another major legal scandal. Word on the street is that a lawsuit is being prepared against her for alleged corruption and theft of a staggering $2 million. Yes, you heard that right, $2 million. The FBI is said to be looking into this latest development, which could spell major trouble for the already embattled mayor. This is just the latest in a series of controversies that have rocked Henyard's tenure as mayor, and it's hard to believe how far things have spiraled.
Fox 32 has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing thousands of dollars.
For those who haven't been keeping up, Tiffany Henyard has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons lately. She's been accused of everything from extravagant spending on the taxpayers' dime to using village resources for her personal gain. And now, with allegations of embezzling millions, things are really heating up. The lawsuit is rumored to be linked to some questionable financial dealings that have left Dolton in a serious financial crisis. According to sources close to the situation, the village's general fund has gone from a healthy balance of over $5 million back in 2022 to a massive deficit of nearly $4 million in just 2 years. That's a mind-blowing drop, and people are starting to ask some tough questions.
I think you should pay everybody. Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for. You just got it.
Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was hired to investigate Dolton's finances earlier this year, revealed some jaw-dropping details in her preliminary report. Apparently, Henyard has been using village credit cards for personal purchases at places like Amazon, Target, and Wayfair on the taxpayer's dime. One particularly outrageous purchase involved her dropping a whopping $43,000 on Amazon in a single day. Yes, $43,000. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Lightfoot's report also pointed out that Henyard has been racking up thousands of dollars in travel expenses, staying in luxury hotels and flying first class. And all of this is happening while Dolton's finances are in freefall. Can you imagine?
Who would make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is, what is it?
Lightfoot's investigation has left the residents of Dolton furious. Many of them are struggling to make ends meet, and the idea that their tax dollars are being used to fund Henyard's lavish lifestyle has sparked outrage. One resident, Andrea McKay, summed up the mood pretty well when she said, "My reaction was, I am devastated. I am devastated that this woman came into our town and spent all of our tax money. It's hard to blame her. With senior citizens in the village unable to afford basic necessities, the fact that their mayor is living it up on their dime is a slap in the face. But the financial mismanagement doesn't end there. In another shocking revelation, it was discovered that 2 Dolton police officers received overtime pay that exceeded their annual salaries. One officer, whose base salary was just over $87,000, received an additional $114,000 in overtime. Meanwhile, another officer with a salary of $73,000 pulled in over $102,000 in extra pay. It's mind-boggling how this kind of thing can happen in a village facing such severe financial difficulties. It's no wonder that many Dolton residents are calling for Henyard to be held accountable.
One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
And it looks like they might get their wish. The FBI is reportedly circling, and it's expected that their investigation will dig even deeper into Henyard's financial dealings. If the rumors are true, this could lead to some serious legal consequences for the so-called super mayor. Henyard, however, doesn't seem too worried. In a recent public meeting, she fired back at her critics, claiming that they're only coming after her because she's a black woman in power. "You all should be ashamed of yourselves because you all are black," she said. "And you all sitting up here beating and attacking a black woman that's in power." But many of her critics, including fellow trustees, aren't buying it. They argue that this has nothing to do with race and everything to do with her misuse of public funds.
Coming in, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. But like I said, you have just some accountability.
One trustee, Brittany Norwood, didn't hold back when she confronted Henyard at a recent village board meeting. "How about you be a good leader and bring proposals to the forefront so not just us, but residents and everyone else in America know how the money is being spent," she said. It's clear that tensions are running high, and the village board is divided over how to handle Henyard's spending. Some trustees have even blocked certain bills from being paid because they feel the expenses aren't fully justified. Trustee Jason House pointed out, at the end of the day, vendors aren't being paid. The board approved it, but vendors aren't being paid. This standoff between Henyard and the trustees is creating chaos in Dolton, and it's hard to see how things will get resolved anytime soon. What's even more troubling is that Henyard has repeatedly refused to provide detailed explanations for these expenses. When questioned about the specifics of her spending during board meetings, she often deflects or claims that the spending is justified for the benefit of the community. But many Dolton residents, and even some trustees, are growing tired of the lack of transparency. Trustee Brittany Norwood has been especially vocal, demanding that Henyard produce receipts and evidence to show exactly how village funds are being used. However, as of now, many of these requests have gone unanswered, fueling suspicions that something much bigger is being hidden.
So that's one of the reasons I won't know when we go through our board packets. It's like, some of this stuff, it's like you don't know exactly what it's for, and then when you ask a question, there's no answer.
In fact, some of the unapproved spending is said to have been used for what Henyard refers to as community outreach, which includes flashy events like concerts, parades, and even sponsored billboards with her face across the town. While Henyard insists these events are meant to bring the community together, critics argue that they are nothing more than self-promotion. There's a growing belief that these events are just a way for Henyard to stay in the public eye and distract from the village's mounting financial problems. It's hard to overlook the fact that while residents are dealing with water main breaks and delayed payments to vendors, the village continues to spend money on what many see as unnecessary vanity projects.
Or the administration can adhere to some financial limits. We're not looking to necessarily...
The controversy surrounding Henyard's spending has even caught the attention of state officials. A few months ago, the Illinois Attorney General's office issued a notice to the village, warning that some of the mayor's financial dealings could be in violation of state law. This prompted a freeze on certain village credit card transactions, although Henyard has found ways to continue funding her projects through other means. The ongoing scrutiny has only added to the pressure on the mayor, and it's likely that state and federal agencies will be keeping a close watch on Dolton's financial situation in the months to come. Adding to the drama, Henyard has reportedly shut down several local businesses that refuse to contribute to her political campaigns. One business owner, Lawrence Gardner, claims that his trucking business was targeted and shut down after he refused to make a $3,000 annual donation to her political war chest. He described the situation as being like something out of a gangster movie, saying, "What is she, Nino Brown?" referring to the infamous character from the movie New Jack City. Gardner's story is just one of many circulating around Dolton, with accusations of Henyard using law enforcement to oppress her political opponents. It's a troubling situation, to say the least.
We believe strongly that that meeting was improperly called and improperly held. The residents of Dolton...
And if you thought things couldn't get more bizarre, there's also the issue of Henyard's personal security detail. She's reportedly using 6 village police officers as her own private bodyguards, a move that's costing taxpayers millions in overtime pay. Critics argue that these officers should be out patrolling the streets and protecting residents, not chauffeuring Henyard around town. And what's even more outrageous is that they've been spotted doing personal errands for her, like picking up her daughter from school. This kind of blatant misuse of public resources has only fueled the outrage against her.
We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime. And instead, we have several officers that are riding around protecting the mayor.
Despite all of this, Henyard seems determined to hold on to power. She recently announced that she's running for re-election, and she's even proposed a controversial salary plan that would cut her successor's pay by nearly 90%, unless, of course, she wins. This move has been widely criticized as an attempt to scare off potential challengers and secure her position for another term. But it's becoming increasingly clear that her time in office has been marked by scandal after scandal, and many residents are fed up.
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
One of the biggest blows to Henyard's image came when her landlord, Janetta Hull, spoke out publicly about her struggles to evict the mayor and her boyfriend. According to Hull, the couple has failed to pay rent since August and has even changed the locks on the property to keep her out. Hull, who once considered Henyard a friend, now says that she regrets ever renting to her. As a mayor, you would think they would uphold positive citizen standards. You don't see that with these people. They just feel like they can do whatever they want, she said. The eviction case is currently making its way through the courts, but it's just one more embarrassment for a mayor whose reputation is already in tatters.
So now I have to pay a special process server in order to get them served, which is more fees for me.
Even with all of this swirling around her, Henyard isn't backing down. In fact, she's been going on the offensive, using social media to lash out at her critics and claim that they're the ones who are corrupt. In a recent 90-minute Facebook Live video, she hinted that she would be seeking the arrests of her political opponents, though she didn't provide any concrete details about what crimes they might have committed. "I will be seeking arrests for individuals involved," she said, adding, "all this pointing the finger at Tiffany, or lying on me, I'm over it. Now, it's time for me to speak." It's not the first time Henyard has promised to reveal the truth about her detractors, but so far she hasn't provided any substantial evidence to back up her claims.
You think I can cook, babe, huh? All right. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all, stop.
The situation in Dolton is rapidly becoming more and more chaotic, with no clear end in sight. Henyard's opponents are digging in, and the federal investigation into her spending is still ongoing. Meanwhile, the village is facing a multi-million-dollar deficit, and residents are feeling the effects of years of financial mismanagement. Whether or not Henyard will be able to weather this storm remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, this is a story that's far from over. So, what do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard being unfairly targeted by her political opponents? Or is she truly at the center of one of the biggest political scandals Dolton has ever seen? Do you believe she can hold onto power? Or is her time as mayor coming to an end? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates on this developing story.